In order to control your blood pressure, one of the things you need to pay attention to is the potassium, total potassium that you're taking in a day, because we're low in that, and that is important to balance sodium, which is important to blood pressure regulation.
Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize everybody 50, 60, 70, and above.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to your second 50 years on this planet. And unlike the first 50 years, the body in which you're living, although we want to optimize it, has a different operating system. I am a nationally board certified health coach, and I have specialized in men and women over 50 for over a decade since I turned 50. And I've been working in this industry for 40 some odd years. All right. So if you're joining me today, then you are in my 15th series, and I do a series of 6 episodes on a specific topic that I call behavioral medicine. And what I mean by that is, what can I help you to do in your everyday life patterns that will work as a medicine for keeping illnesses at bay, reversing ones that you're on the borderline of being diagnosed with, or possibly pulling back from ones that you've already been diagnosed with and have to manage. All right. So I have many, many clients that come in to work with me, and high blood pressure is one of their health conditions. And so this episode and this series is about what can you do on a daily basis that can help you to lower your blood pressure. All right. It's a 6-part series. So you really want to be watching all 6 of them, because you really don't want to just pull one of the things I'm highlighting from one episode. In order to really lower your blood pressure, you want to be dabbling in all 6 of the things I'm talking about. But the good news is that the things I'm talking about are easy to manifest. And so 6 sounds like a lot, but if you are exposed to what the 6 are, you can make some headway with them. And I'm not suggesting that you do what I'm telling you to do and to replace medications, but if you lower your blood pressure, the doctors will see that your blood pressure is down, and they can monitor and possibly manipulate the dosage of the medication that you're on. So again, not replacing your medication per se, but what you do on a daily basis does have a dramatic effect on blood pressure. All right. Now, this episode, I'm going to talk to you about potassium. And I know I threw you on that because most people, equate high blood pressure with sodium. And absolutely, it is equated. And I'm going to talk about that in the next episode. But here, I want to focus in on the potassium, because the balance of sodium and potassium in your body is very important to blood pressure regulation, as well as other things. But we're talking about blood pressure here. All right. So, while you're working on that sodium and trying to get it down, most people are not aware of, well, where are you with potassium, and where should it be, and what foods have potassium in it? Because I'm talking to you about what to do behaviorally, not what's a supplement to take, but what can you eat, all right, that has more potassium. So I'm going to get to that in a second. Potassium and sodium have a certain balance in your body, and potassium levels that are recommended for women, it's 2,600 milligrams a day. For men, it's 3,400 milligrams a day. And if your mind is like, what? Just think 3,000, okay? 3,000 milligrams a day for the average over 50 male and female, all right? And most of us aren't even getting close to that, all right? But we're getting a lot of sodium. And so I want to help you to try and get that potassium level up, not to match the high level of sodium, but we're going to try and get that sodium down, but to meet the base levels that your body needs, so that that your blood pressure doesn't have to be adapting to that if it's off. All right. So potassium, when I say potassium, and we need to get 3,000 milligrams, get that in your head right now for the average 50-plus-year-old female and male. Potassium, when I say, all right, what foods are high in potassium? The number one thing people say to me is, well, I have a banana every day, or I know bananas are high in potassium. And they are a good source of potassium. So an average banana this size is about 400 milligrams of potassium. Okay, but I just told you need to get 3,000 milligrams, did I say a day? Per day. So you'd have to eat like 8 bananas. No one's going to do that, nor should you. That's too much sugar. And even though it's natural sugar, it's going to replace other nutrients that you need. So you don't want to eat eight bananas a day. But one banana at 400 milligrams is a good, something to incorporate. But what are some other foods that can actually go even higher than bananas? And I'm going to throw one out your way, which is going to blow your minds, because it is the good old white potato. And right now, white potatoes, it's a white food. It's bad for you, blah, blah, blah. It is not if it is eaten in combination with other foods. But
hi, everybody. I wanted to interrupt this podcast because I want to give you something. Your Second 50 Life is my virtual platform that is designed for both men and women over 50 and 60, 70, and 80. And it includes pre-recorded video information on exercise and how to do it whether you're fit and in good health or if you have bad knees, bad shoulders, a bad back, whatever. It includes information on how to eat for weight management and how to eat for health management. It includes information on the psychology of aging and what do we need to do in our heads. Because let's face it, this aging thing is not for the faint of heart. So your Second 50 Life is a virtual platform of resources that you can access at your own leisure, but it also includes 2 times a month live video coaching with me so that you can bring your own individual questions and get individual coaching as well as have access to all the information on the pre-recorded videos. So please check it out because we're all in this together and we got this if we work as a team. All right, everybody, back to the show.
As far as potassium goes, this little baby right here, this is about this is about 7 ounces, is going to get you 900 milligrams of potassium. So one baked potato, in your meal plan through the day, it could be a side dish for a dinner. It could be cut up and put in, and lightly scrambled in avocado oil to make like a hash brown for breakfast. Lots of ways to incorporate potato into your daily eating, or every other day, or a couple days, every other day or something. But the potassium level in this potato is like, yes. All right, now, if you're not sold on the potato, or for whatever reason you're thinking you don't want to eat that, the next even like about 900 milligrams for a half a cup is going to come from, in particular, these are beans and lentils in here, but see these white ones? These are white beans, all right? And you can get all plain white beans that you can then steep and then cook up and boil yourself. These are raw. You have to, there's a process to cook these. You can also get them canned white beans. A half a cup of white beans cooked is 900 milligrams of potassium. So now you can cook up some white beans, add that into a salad, have a banana as part of your breakfast, have a potato as part of your dinner, and now we're up to about 2,400 milligrams of potassium a day towards our 3,000. Not so bad, right? So it's not that hard to get it in if you know what to eat, okay? Another good source of potassium is tomatoes. So a half a cup of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, plum tomatoes, regular tomatoes, beef steaks, all different types of tomato is going to get you about 400 milligrams of potassium in a half a cup. So add those into a salad, cut those up into like maybe some scrambled eggs or an egg white omelet. Another good source of potassium. Seafood. So this is shrimp, but halibut. I have tuna here. And if you look on this label right here, it says it's 3 servings for the can, and each serving has 4% of your potassium for the day, and that's about 200 milligrams. So, if you had 2 servings of the tuna, which is about a lunch portion, you're going to be picking up 400 milligrams of potassium. You can put that into a salad. You can have that onto a whole grain, sprouted grain wrap as a lunch. These things are not hard to get into your diet. And then the other thing I want to highlight is, I talked about white beans, but like legumes in general. So that's lentils and soybeans and navy beans and black beans. They are all high in potassium. Also, not as high as the white beans. These other beans and lentils are about 350 milligrams for half a cup cooked. But again, more of a variation so you can add into your diet on a regular basis. That legumes, beans, and lentils are also a very good source of potassium. And then I guess the last one I want to say is your leafy greens. So, like beet tops, Swiss chard, spinach. A half a cup of cooked spinach is going to get you 400 milligrams of potassium. So again, now you're well over. If you had like one of each one of those things and incorporated them into your daily eating, you're going to well hit your 300 milligrams per day without much sweat, and enjoyably, because all these foods are foods that my typical client like. Occasionally you get somebody who doesn't like the tomatoes, they don't like the bananas, but of everything I just presented, there's at least a couple sources that most of my clients I work with one-on-one will say, yeah, I would eat those. Yes, I could eat those. Oh, I like those. All right. So this is episode number 1 out of a 6-part series. In order to control your blood pressure, one of the things you need to pay attention to is the total potassium that you're taking in a day, because we're low in that, and that is important to balance sodium, which is important to blood pressure regulation. So 300 milligrams of potassium on average for men and males and females over 50, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. That's my age population I'm working with right now. Is your goal. I just gave you some easy food sources. Get your shopping list together and go out and stock your pantry and refrigerator. All right, everybody, this is episode number 1. There are 6 others that go with this. So, go listen to those 2 or watch those, or you can have them all in one place if you join my platform, which there was a little information on in between in this very episode you just watched, but it is yoursecond50.life. I have lots of information there for men and women over 50, consolidated into one subscription, and now you don't have to vet. There's a lot of information out on the internet that is questionable, or maybe not is proper or correct, but not for the demographic of your second 50 years of life, where things change. All right. So pleasure. I'm glad you followed along. I hope you follow the rest of this series. I hope to see you on another video real soon. In the meantime, we're all in this together. We want to optimize our second half of our lives. And I'm going to tell you, you got this. See you soon. And if you'd like to have access to some of my additional resources, I can be found at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on my website, www.judyterrell.com.